We are rolling in. Not a real stream, but just to let you. I guess it's a real stream, but not a planned one. This was improvised, impromptu. Can everybody hear me? Okay. We just wanted to remind everybody that Mondays are for the dragons, and so I want to see you show up at our 2 dragon shows that are on Mondays. And should already have the links for both Yiz the Unifier and for Nilius Nullin for Null down in the description below on YouTube. So you'll have to look there. Maybe I can pop them over on to Twitter as well. But just wanted to stop by, say hello. I see the cool Papa J Magic is blasting the Christmas tunes over there in the vehicle at the stoplight. Very cool, my brother. Very cool. And we'll have to turn the music back on. Yes, the Unifier is here. So Yiz is able to tell you all directly if she has any time, because she's, of course, getting ready for the show, which begins in a mere blink of an eye on the East Coast. East Coast time, 6 p.m. It is currently 4:26 p.m. So you don't have long, wherever you are on planet Earth, to get ready to participate in this glorious spectacle of a Dragon Monday beginning at 6 p.m. And then at 8 p.m., roughly around 8 p.m., as Yiz and her marvelous guests are winding down with a treasure chest and hilarious memes and videos you don't want to miss. All of that. As that's winding down, the great Cornelius Noland begins with his Dragon Synth adventures. And it's a wonderful, and I'll read a specific description, the one we have scrolling along the bottom of your screen. I realize that many of you watching me on your Apple Watch. And so it's a little tiny stream of Jason right there on the watch. And so the verbiage scrolling across the bottom, probably can't even see it, so I'll be reading it to you. I'm also going to pull up without sound, maybe a bit of sound, previous Discordant Dragons and a previous, if Forno keeps his up still, Dragon Synth Adventures. I see Linda is here, Arden Party. Marilyn, hello and welcome. Stumbling in. ACB is here. Great to see you. Promethean Kitchen is here. Samuski, the champ. AOC, the nameless one, was first. Good to see you. So I'm going to be sharing as I say, the links are in the description on YouTube. I will probably drop them as well underneath of the live stream on Twitter, because why not? You'll be able to head right from Twitter on over. If you are in the Twitter live stream, say hello and share the stream with your friends. We're not going to be here long. A little December 2nd stream to remind everybody that it's Monday, and Mondays are finally cool again. Mondays are for the dragons. It's Boss Bear Sexy. All across the world, it's Boss Bear Sexy on Monday, thanks to Discordant Dragons and Dragon Synth Adventures. Let me see if I can pull up a bit of the show so you can get a taste of these 2 wonderful programs. And let's see what we have here. Okay, so let's see here. Maybe a bit so you can definitely see at the beginning. The beginning is safe. Somewhere in the middle might be a little spicy. But you wanna otherwise check it out, because it's glorious, as I say, glorious to behold. Discordant Dragons, as you can see in the magic window behind me, I have had the glorious AI, the most advanced AI on planet Earth, Maximilian von Fock. And you have done this for me. I love it. It's wonderful. So let's see if we can get on the screen to share with you a bit of where we get started here at 6 p.m. just now an hour and 31 minutes away. An hour and 31 minutes away. This is the intro for Yiz the Unifier Hidden Dragons show. And we have some verbiage here that I will read to you that is scrolling across the bottom. As you watch the glorious intro. Mondays are finally based because Mondays are for the dragons. Discordant Dragons begins at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is a game show-esque stream, Yiz can correct me, where Yiz plays host and ambassador to the Council of Worms, dragons, from D&D lore, of course. You can feast your eyes upon the gloriousness of the intro. And the worms, they've taken an intellectual curiosity in our clown world. An entertaining panel every single week irreverently discusses the news and memes and more in response to the dragons' questions. So it's not actually D&D. So you don't have to know anything about D&D. It's sort of the theme of the conversation. The questions are put forward through Yiz by the Dragon Council. So make sure you check that. It's the veneer of Dungeons and Dragons. Beautiful, very beautiful. And then at 8 p.m., the Great Four Null and the Dragon Synth Adventures, which we will read more about in just a moment. Again, not really D&D, but it has the veneer of Dungeons and Dragons, castles, knights. It's a lot of fun.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Discordant Dragons. Tonight is the 158th episode of Discordant Dragons Live.
This is
and
again
tonight we have
from
all
last
returning
week.
Guests, and I have created 5 excellent questions for the dragons tonight because I have all high IQ white men as guests tonight. So we're going to have some hopefully really good discussions around the choice news topics I have picked tonight. But before we get started, I would like to remind you guys that Discordant Dragons does not stay up on YouTube. YouTube is...
So you can catch it, though, on YouTube at 6 p.m. And we want you to make sure that you see it. And there are some other options. You can head on over to Yiz the Unifier's Twitter as well to find out more information and the other platforms on which you can find the glorious stream. And we shall move forward so you can see exactly what it looks like. So there's what you get to see, what it looks like. And then you have the questions from the dragons, and then Yiz reads the news, and then the questions are issued, and you see this is what you see. So you have the card. It's really fascinating. It's really interesting way to bring up topics for discussion, and then the guests respond in effect through Yiz to the dragons. So whatever the dragons may be, and there are several of them each week. You want to make sure you check it out. It's really cool. Make sure you check it out at 6 p.m., just under an hour and a half to go. Then you see there are different dragons that they speak with. Again, Yiz is relaying the questions through the dragons. Really, really interesting way to talk about current topics, socio-political subjects, big news items, current big news items that everyone is talking about, except it's done in this interesting, creative way that you're not going to find anywhere else. So you want to make sure you are there. I'll be there. We'll all be there. And let me see if I can find some Dragon Synth adventures as well to share with you. Heck of a good time. The host with the mostest is here. And she is, if you have any quick questions before she has to go, she is getting ready for the stream. Make sure you're there. The link is, and she can put the link in the live chat as well for the specific show this evening. And tell your friends. Make sure you retweet, regab, refacebook, post it everywhere. Bring in as many people as you can for the titillating subject matter that will be broached by the intellectual powerhouses that it's always fascinating because she brings on very bright people and a variety of viewpoints, and they get to kind of disagree, agree, kind of go at each other, come to some interesting conclusions, and all with this beautiful digital animation, these graphics that are stunning the entire time. You will find a dragon of your choice that you love the most. It's not the same dragons every week, but you'll find one that you love the most. I'm sure of it. Beautiful art, in all seriousness, beautiful art. And then, as I said before, toward the end, a treasure trove is opened, and it is full of hilarious memes and sometimes little videos that are also hilarious. You're not going to want to miss it. Definitely worth checking out. And now this is every Monday. So you want to follow Yiz, you want to follow Fernal on Twitter, on YouTube, and elsewhere. You want to follow them, X. You want to follow them so that you can be sure. Ring the bell, click that you want to be notified, and then check back to make sure that you haven't been unsubscribed. That happens a lot to this community. So keep an eye on that. You might want to also follow everywhere that you have a platform that either of these two wonderful people and creators have an account. So now let me show you Discordant Dragon, or now it was Discordant Dragons, now Dragon Synth Adventures. I'm reading the screen and trying to say something else. So we have switched it up now. Maximilian von Fock has brought in Fornell's Dragon Synth Adventures. And that again begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What is Dragon Synth Adventures, you ask yourself? Well, let's consult the Book of Armaments. It is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Fornal and his Dragon Synth Adventures, which is audience-focused chat and live DJ'd music and epic visuals. So it's a really laid back. Fornal often sits in the corner of the screen. Sometimes he'll take up the middle of the screen and he'll engage in conversation with the folks in the audience. And he's a great guy. He's really laid back, really fun to talk to. It's a lot of synthwave type of music, really laid back. You're there, you're chatting, you're chilling, you're checking out the epic graphics and listening to the fantastic music that he plays. So he'll chat with you, engage in the conversation that's in the live chat, and he occasionally breaks out a guitar and entertains with live music. We've goaded him a couple of times. We've encouraged him, and he could do it. It's amazing. So that again begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And let me see if I can put up on the screen some Dragon Synth adventure for us. Get a flavor. Dragon Synth Adventures. So again, like Discordant Dragons, and this was an accident. It's just that dragons were totally epic. Totally epic. Again, there's this dragon knight, a medieval conversation, music. And then this is the intro music, which I love. So you don't know, you're not going to be alerted about this screen or about Discordant Dragons from Years the Unifier, because we are all white positive, and the establishment, through all of these different platforms, censor the ever-living hell out of it. Let's hear from Fornol himself. I think he pops up here. There he is.
Greetings, Promethean Hails. Welcome to another episode of Dragon Synth Adventures. We've got some great music. I've got some great music. Who's we? Well, me and my my guard back here. Oh, and my wolf back here. And I guess that bird right there on the Y. Oh, my fingers.
Promethean.
I'm in a magic
the
bubble.
links are in the description below.
If I try to get too far out, I
channels.
start disappearing. So I lose all cohesion. Speaking of cohesion, I received a question or a tag on.
So this is how it
X
opens. But he
from
gets
Jason Köhne. No,
he gets into, as I was saying before, really cool, chill music, and the live chat gets lit. We have a good time. Talk about a lot of different things. He talks about socio-political matters, talks about gaming, talks about not only online gaming, but also board gaming, talks about gardening, talks about just anything that people bring up, firearms, automobiles. So all kinds of really fascinating things. Sometimes he initiates those topics. Sometimes they're initiated by you in the live chat, and then it just rolls out. As you can see, really cool, just him hanging out like this. Anti-whiteism ends with you. Is Monday a new showtime? Still doing Sundays and Wednesdays. This is a one-off. I just want to remind people that Mondays are for the dragons. So you want to make sure that you get to these two folks. You can never remind people enough, because you're missing out. We need to encourage this fellowship in this community, because we are heavily censored. The censorship that we hit yesterday on X was unparalleled. Hey, Jason. Hope all is well. Just saying hi, says JW in the X live chat. Great to see you. I got my eye on the X live chat right now, and in just a moment we're going to be playing a little bit of the great sort of visuals and music that Fornol plays during Dragon Synth Adventures. We really need to stick together, be a family, build fellowship, know who each other are, look for each other online, share and try to broaden the community naturally, peer-to-peer, because the censorship for those who are white positive is like nothing else. It is the worst censorship ever. There is no platform that pushes us. There is no platform that wants to make sure that every time we post something, as many people as possible can see it. There simply isn't. Everything else you can talk about, literally. You could talk about conservative matters. You could talk about hating Jewish people. You could talk about all of that is pushed. You start talking about ending the victimization of white people, not without disliking any other race of people, ending the persecution of whites based on our birth, bringing no harm to any other group of man. And the censorship is complete. It is replete. It is everywhere. It is burdensome. And so there is no other way. There is never going to be an opportunity for an algorithm that suddenly pushes us out and you see our posts on X or Gab or elsewhere, Facebook, suddenly get 600,000, 300,000 views, 900,000, 1.3 million views. Never is going to happen. It doesn't matter how many successes this community has, how loving, honest, generous, and noble the community is. Doesn't matter. Clearly, some part of the deep state, some part of the anti-white system does not want that mentality reaching the white population. And I can understand why. Since it's anti-white, I can completely understand why. So let's see. We'll move forward. We'll see. Look at how just everything is epic. Fournol actually lives in a castle, just so you know that. He is literally in this castle. And that's kind of a, right, here's kind of a good place to pop in. So, as I said, a wide variety of music, all pretty laid back, relaxed, and various types of intriguing and entrancing art. And this is all just right. So you can, what I like to do, especially like when Bernal is on, but also in Dragon's Den, but also during Dragon's Den tonight, is I'm working. You know, we have things, we always say this, doing X, whatever it is, with no white guilt. So like I'm working and listening, and I am participating, jumping into the live chat here and there when I get an opportunity. So you can be just totally hanging out and just enjoying and chatting with folks. So just a little bit of a taste here. Not going to be here that much longer, but it was just to jump on here really quick and share some of these two badass.
So what about you guys? What do you use your wands for?
So there you see Bernal jumping in.
I guess that's a loaded question. I guess
sometimes it can get a little ribbled. It's never nasty, but sometimes it can get a little ribbled. Let's see if some other cool things to look at. And here you got Fournol's down in the corner, like I was talking
maybe
about.
It's just imagining as you're rolling it up and seeing the different
all right, so from last week,
strengths and weaknesses
about
and
building
then you're kind of trying to make the most of it. It's kind of an entertaining puzzle in a way to make a character for a role-playing game, a paper and pencil role-playing game. And so I look like Chuck Schumer when I wear them like this. Hey, we're gonna rob you guys blind. But
let me jump forward.
Yeah, I came up with some guy.
We're gonna be jumping out of here shortly.
You're not able to do as much until
the castle.
When you're completely out of stamina, then that's it.
So it could
that's
be
kind of a neat
older painting,
game mechanic,
newer digital art. You're gonna see the whole
because
variety.
That is like real life. I mean, you've seen guys. If you've ever been in fights,
talking
like
about
real
fighting
fights,
there,
or even regulation fights of any kind.
And then you have a little bit of a sci-fi art there, and Bernal, if you don't know, he's a totally epic musician himself, and he will occasionally play some of his own pieces, but largely he's playing music created by other musicians. And you can even ask. You get the idea here. Totally cool. You want to make sure you don't miss out on any of the 2 programs today. Discordant Dragons with Yiz the Unifier at 6 p.m. We're coming up. We're almost an hour and 9.5 minutes. We're coming up on it. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Dragon Synth Adventures with the great Fornull. And that's what I was just showing you there. If there are any other comments or questions, tag me as No White Guilt before we roll. We'll get back to some of our Christmas music. Let me see, trying to read the screen these days. Being a problem. All right. Merry Christmas, good Yule, and soon to be Happy New Year. Yes, says, thanks for the support. I deeply appreciate it. I recommend your channel and give you shout outs on my channel. 2, keep it Promethean. Yes, you do, because I'm there. I know it. I'm there and I'm listening and participating. And she absolutely does. Samuski. Fornull has a secret portal that goes from his castle into your closet. You have busted him before. That's true. You all should be aware of this. The great Fornull has shown up right here using the portal that's in the closet. It's real. Torhund, JC Denton. He says something keeps shrinking the font on my screen. So I hope to see you all there. Like I say, we're just about an hour now out from the beginning. So just think about it. Cass is here. Good to see you. Just think about it. At 6, you can begin. In an hour and 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes, you can begin your Dragon Monday. And then it doesn't have to end until like 10 or so p.m. So you can be enthralled and raptured by Dragon Monday for almost a handful of hours. Sometimes it's beyond a handful of hours. Tom is here. No, that's not the kind of dungeon it is. Unless it would be consensual. It's fantasy. All right, no other tags. It's good to see you all. Let's see. Big 07s to everybody. Great seeing you all unexpectedly on a Monday. That's for the Dragons. And I don't see any other comments here on Twitter. Let me just make sure we didn't get comments anywhere else. Any questions about the great 2 programs that are coming up? 07s from Alien Exists on Rumble. Nothing on the live. Nothing missed out on Odyssey. But good to see those who showed up. AOC says, are you still back on Wednesday? 100%. I will be here on Wednesday. So keep an eye out. Wednesday I will return. We will roll in going free on Wednesday. We will continue to have our glorious victories, talking about the latest news and events in the world, but more importantly, how to address the infection of the dominant ideology, which is the anti-white narrative. I will debate anybody and I will destroy them. It is the anti-white narrative, and we are all infected with it. We are all poisoned with it. And we have to begin with ourselves. Treating ourselves for the meme pathogens in that infection. Those are just ideas, anti-white ideas that have undermined us, and they give us a skewed view of the world, an understanding of events and motivations in the world. And then working, in some cases simultaneously, with our friends and our family, our circles of influence, changing things like what mainstream media uses for imagery. Nobody else has done that. We've done that. Changing policies at large city police department. Nobody else has done that. We've done that. Getting monumental figures like Donald Trump to use the concepts that we're promulgating. No one else has ever done that. So this is the community with the victories. And if it makes you jealous, then you need to see a therapist. If you care about white people, whether you are white, non-white, doesn't matter. If you care about white people, if you think it's wrong to discriminate and persecute against people on the basis of their birth, if you can see that all that is good in the West is taken from all of us of all races by way of anti-white arguments, by way of this retributive justice against white people, and you don't want to lose any more of the freedoms and civility that we have in the West, then this is the fight for you. This is the community for you. The evil of this age is anti-whiteism. It takes many different names. It takes wokeism. It takes liberalism. It takes progressivism. It takes Marxism. It takes communism. All of these things are just subsets of the superset that is anti-whiteism. All of them don't exist in a void. They all exist at our expense. And by way of that victimization, the victimization of everyone who lives in the West. There's no denying this. Only cowards deny it. This is the one path that has shown success, that has improved the lives of the adherents of the people who implement the practice in their lives. Imagine that. It's been so successful for people in their lives that I've had 2 children named after me. I've never met the people who named their children after me. I'm not a rock star. I'm not a well-known actor or politician. I'm not from the past. I'm a contemporary who cares about our people and who has promulgated and proffered to all of us a practice that changes our lives for the better. And because of this activity, I have drawn wonderful people, brilliant, artistic people, highly educated people, talented people to this circle. And they have contributed to the greatness of the practice we now share with the world. You can be a part of that. I've also, and this entire community has repelled, we are repugnant, we are odious to everyone of bad character, everyone of bad faith, everyone who uses a concern for the white race and our victimization in our countries as a pretext to aggrandize themselves and advance themselves. We repel all of those kinds of people. And so, unfortunately, today there are a lot of those kinds of people in the world. So if you are one of the best, if you're ready to take that next step to actually do something about our victimization, to actually put an end to it, not just talk about it, not just bitch about other groups of people, this is the community for you. And you can begin today at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. You can begin by heading on over to Yiz the Unifier's channel for Discordant Dragons. And then at 8 p.m., Dragon Synth Adventures with the great Cornelius Nolan. The links are in the description of this live stream on YouTube. That's where they will remain. and I will grab them and also drop them under this stream on X as well. Hope to see you all there. JW over here on the Twitter live chat says he's going to keep an eye out. We need this. Thanks. You are most welcome, and thank you for being over here and being a part of it. Playing a part in the building of our community. Big salutes to every single one of you. Hope to see you all there. Roll out.